Okay, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Taj Oz, and today I'll be reacting to top 10 biggest downgrades in anime. So without further ado, let's get into the video. If you're new, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Do you remember when we thought these sequels were gonna be amazing? I'm Ashley with Watch Mojo, and these are the top 10 biggest downgrades in anime.
Yeah, the second season of One Punch Man.
For this list, we're taking a look at the anime which went downhill during their sequel season, either by technical or narrative drawbacks. You may enjoy these shows, but there's no denying that they just don't stand up to the original. And hey, once we're finished with this video, why not head over to my Twitter at AshJBow and let me know which show you thought had the biggest downgrade.
And Tokyo Ghoul, I think the first and the second season.
Number 10, Medabot Spirits.
Was alright. The first season was good, but
finally, a chance to see Meta B and War Bandit finish their battle, to see Icky and the others reach new heights as meta fighters and perhaps mature as characters. Who knows, maybe some of those meta pairings could come into play. Turns out that all that wishing got us was a show that was a shadow of its former self.
Hold back your confidence, Icky.
What?
With B-Train no longer running things, the animation quality dipped big time, with key characters like Henry, Koji, and even Mr. Freaking Referee removed from the plot. Give us early 2000 cheesy anime any day over this.
You're pretty cool.
oh god.
Number 9, Tokyo Ghoul Route A.
You okay? No, I'm not.
That's the second season, I think.
Come on. Let's go home.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Infamous for going off the rails and abandoning the manga's well-crafted narrative for seemingly no reason whatsoever, Route A takes tortured hero Kaneki on a whirlwind adventure filled with episodes of non-stop running sequences, random alliances, out-of-nowhere decisions, and an ending the show probably thought was the most poetic thing to ever devour a carcass.
Is that right?
Ri may have somewhat picked up the pieces, to a lesser extent, and Glassy Sky remains one of the most breathtaking musical pieces in modern anime, but this sequel was a misfired disaster from the start.
Because I'm going to Algiri.
Number 8, Black Butler.
I haven't watched this, but I know about it.
Even taking into account the desiccation, the space is quite different than I remember.
The mummy is a fake, then. Perhaps that means the archaeologist is our kidnapper.
I couldn't say, my lord.
The capers of the young Earl and his demon butler certainly gathered enough of a cult following to warrant a second outing. After all, Sebastian's uber suaveness was borderline intoxicating. So, what happened? Well, filler once again came into the picture. Only this time, it was an entire season comprised of it.
An entire season of those.
Yes, truly pathetic.
Why? So what's the point of making
the idea of Ciel taking on another wealthy, cross-dressing lord with his own all-powerful servants was a good idea on paper, but the execution turned the whole thing into one big head-scratcher. Characters we thought were dead randomly came back, the final confrontation was underwhelming, any form of subtlety was sent right out of the window, and it had an ending that future sequels have since completely disregarded.
You somehow managed to make this slop look like real food, but it tastes like something found in the rubbish bin.
I do apologize. I'll bring something else right away.
Number 7, Darker Than Black, Gemini of the Meteor.
So I wouldn't know. Oh, good.
Remember, this is the show that gave us Hobo Hey, one of the most badass masked vigilantes out there, and they turned him into a depressed drunk who occasionally gropes young girls. If that's not character assassination, we don't know what is. It may fling the occasional action scene at us and the odd conspiratorial plot point, But unlike before, the machinations of the syndicate and the battles between contractors just felt lacking. The Black Reaper deserved so much more, and it's a damn shame that we'll never see him get the chance at a redemption arc, or take a shower. Number 6, Eureka 7. Ow.
I haven't seen him entirely of these so far.
Honestly, did we even need a sequel? There was never going to be anything that could measure up to the likes of the original mecha surfing masterpiece in terms of spectacle, as well as its intricate romance. While we'd love nothing more than to see Eureka and Renton live their lives, we didn't want it to be at the expense of the show's legacy. With their child serving as a poor replacement protagonist and the time travel elements lacking any real excitement to them, we wouldn't be surprised if the AO stood for Awful Outing. Number 5, Soul Eater, not.
I haven't watched Soul Eater. I think I watched
Oh dear.
the
It's
first
true?
episode.
Are you really going to the
I don't
DWMA?
remember. I don't think I haven't watched it.
Not is right. Not engaging. Not in any way worthy of the Soul Eater name. Not worth our time. A prequel that focuses on the DWMA Meisters that came before Maka and the rest is all well and good, and held potential to expand the lore and world building, but all it ended up giving us was laughable fight scenes and a strange shift towards the slice of life genre.
I feel like I'm on display.
You have such lovely slender legs, why not show them off a little?
I'm a lady.
How precious.
We're not saying that it had to be all happy murder time, but at the very least offers something that still captures the spirit of what made the original so enjoyable. We miss Death the Kid.
Oh, it smells so good.
Nice and soothing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Number 4, Fully Coolly
I don't
Progressive.
know this either. I don't know the majority of these.
Born to be mild!
The return of Haruko Haruhara should have been ushered in like royalty. After all, no one does crazy quite like this guitar-wielding galactic enforcer. This should have been a blast, but as it happened, it didn't even manage to live up to our lowest expectations. While Gainax were off doing absolutely nothing while raking in the money from old projects, this classic was left to meander in mediocrity.
Are you going to make the same mistake again? There's no light at the end of this tunnel. Just give it up.
No way, Jose!
The animation is a far cry from the beautiful madness of the original. The new cast, aside from Haruko, are a bore to be around, including the painfully disinterested lead, all the while the plot comes painfully close to retreading old ground, but with only a pinch of the pizzazz.
Leave it up to your good old teach.
Stop it!
Number
Yes.
3, One
Season
Punch
2 was
Man
not-
Season
not
2.
great.
実力を見ようと思ったがこれじゃあその前に終わりそうだな
You knew it was coming. With Madhouse leaving the building, what was arguably the most anticipated animated sequel in decades was left in the hands of JC staff, who, to their credit, mostly managed to maintain the show's credibility. However, when compared to the godly animation and narrative structure that came
season one was
before,
way
it does
better.
indeed drop the ball. Corner cutting has been known to run rampant in some episodes, resulting in moments that should have been phenomenal falling pretty flat.
必殺マジシリマジ反復横跳び
While this season did manage to deliver on some great action and comedy, it still failed to reach the heights of its predecessor.
It could have been so much.
Number 2, Psychopaths 2.
最後の引き
I
金は君
know
に委
about it,
ね
but I still haven't watched it
我
yet.
々の住むこの社会を守りたまえ
Where in the flying is Kogami? Seriously, you can't just give us a cyberpunk epic and scrub away a half of the leading duo. The relationship between our brooding enforcer and naive detective was the crux of this dystopian darling. And what did the sequel give us? Akane struggling to solve a series of homicides, while accompanied by one of the most infuriatingly stupid sidekicks we've ever had the displeasure of meeting.
大丈夫ですか先輩犯人を追うわ急いで
I only know like two anime on the list.
Our poor girl is giving it her
most
all.
of them.
And all we can do is wonder how she ended up having to helm such a lackluster effort. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Berserk.
I knew it was a new one. And it was in
It boggles the mind at how they could
3D.
take the sequel to the definitive dark fantasy anime and turn it into a laughingstock. The music may be top tier, and seeing the Berserker armor animated for the first time did give us chills, but for the most part this adaptation of Guts' Trail of Vengeance post-Golden Age arc was a Zod-sized failure. Cinematography that was liable to cause nausea, 3D CGI uglier than sin, out-of-place sound effects that were practically deafening, all these elements melded together to create a subpar experience for casual watchers, while die-hard fans were left floored at what an insult this anime proved to be. So which of these shows did you think was the biggest downgrade? Let us know in the comments below. Maybe check out this other video and subscribe to Watch Mojo.
Internet want me to react to, let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching.